You want to be somebody who gets more bounces and gets more luck in your life, right? And it may not just be hockey, it may be everything. And so what we're going to talk about in this video is kind of the 4 core areas we look at. So there's kind of like blind luck. Then we have like luck that comes through persistence or hard work. We have luck that is more spotted or like chance favoring the prepared mind. We have identity luck, luck that finds you. And then we'll go into a deep dive in terms of how to actually get more identity luck and how to actually create the type of reputation that attracts identity luck. So just to dig right in, the first thing we want to talk about is blind luck. So the way I look at this is the type of luck where like luck is kind of random. And this is the type of thing that most people consider to be like actual luck, is the puck just lands on your stick, your teammates make good plays, you end up getting a great opportunity with the team because, you know, maybe a scout was at the right place at the right time. And here's the thing, when that happens, like just generally speaking, it's a good thing. And you should be, I don't even want to say you should be, but you want to be the type of person who welcomes this type of luck into your life. And you don't want to feel like guilty about it. So a mistake I've made and I've seen a lot of people make is they feel like bad about themselves. They're like, man, like I'm not, I got lucky. I don't deserve this, whatever it is. But in reality, like you don't have to deserve the good bounces. You don't have to deserve any of this stuff. It just comes down to, if a situation occurs, you have an opportunity, then take advantage of it and make the most of it, because other people would love to have that opportunity and they would love to make the most of it. So don't be the person who you get that luck. It's kind of that dumb blind luck. And then you're just like, man, I feel bad. I don't deserve this. Like that's such a waste of an opportunity. So use that opportunity. Don't make that mistake. You have to remind yourself, like sometimes this is, and a good way to even frame this is like, this is what was meant to happen. Like it was, even though we want to say it's just totally random, if you see it as, well, this is what's meant to happen, I'm meant to make the most of it, that frame can really help you. So then for the second type of luck, we're looking more at the luck through persistence or hard work. And there's a quote I love from Alex Hormozi, which he basically says, work negates luck. And so the way he looks at that is that if you work super hard and you do a lot of things, if you shoot enough, if you think of success in hockey as like shooting a bunch or throwing a bunch of darts at a dartboard, like if you throw enough darts, you're eventually going to hit the bullseye. If you shoot like thousands of shots in the driveway, you do consistent reps, you're always doing more work. You're looking for new opportunities. You're searching the internet for the next thing, like dialing in every component of your work, and you're not giving up every time you don't get the result. Well, eventually, like the work will probably negate the luck side of it. You'll start to kind of like get lucky because you just kept sticking with it enough and you took enough shots that eventually it worked out. So this Thomas Jefferson quote I'm a huge fan of, which is, I'm a great believer in luck, and I find the harder I work, the more I have it. And if you think about it from like an inventor's perspective, and you think about this from really like just anybody, but obviously with Jefferson, he was the third president of the United States. I probably should have known that. I don't know why I was thinking he was an inventor. But fundamentally, like what you want to think about with this is that if you do more stuff, if you do more things, it may not guarantee success, but it's going to give you the best chance. And if you keep trying at something, it's going to give you more of an opportunity. So if you're in that stage, or you ever find yourself in that stage in the future where things are not clicking, you're not getting what you want, don't rely on the world to tell you, oh, you're doing well. Don't rely on your coach to tell you you're doing well. Don't rely on your parents or your friends or the stats. Don't rely on getting the offers. When you are not getting the results, this is the time to do more work, because the work will negate the luck side and it will lead to you getting that luck through persistence. And then it will just feel like something you do deserve because you did so much work. But at the end of the day, it's all getting the right opportunities at the right time. But if you push through those times, and instead of thinking like things aren't working out, let me spend less time doing this, double down on yourself in those times. Double down on yourself when you have doubts. Double down on yourself when other people are doubting you. And that's going to give you the best chance to actually succeed in the long run, because the more shots you take, the more likely you are to succeed. So the third concept of luck is the idea of spotted luck. And this is when luck and preparation meet, or opportunity and preparation really meet. Like that's really what this third one is. Obviously, the other ones you can kind of define it as like opportunity and preparation meeting, but this is when you also know where to look to find the success. And so if we bring this to like an on-ice perspective, this is when people start to say, man, he gets the puck so often. People just find him. He always seems like he's just getting the puck in the right spot. And he's getting one-timer opportunities, he's getting rebounds, he's banging in like, loose pucks. The reason that they're getting this is not because it's just random. It's because they have found a way to influence the amount of opportunity they get. They're putting themselves in the right place at the right time. And so if you think of this in a non-hockey context, let's say you want to get a job. Well, the best place to go to get a job would be to go to a place where they're potentially offering jobs or where there's lots of job opportunities, and just keep going there over and over and over again. And so if you think about scoring more goals or getting more points, where is that on the ice? It's going towards the net. And it may sound really like stupid simple to say, and you're probably going to think I'm a little bit of a caveman coach for even saying this, but like the more frequently you cross through the middle of the net, the more frequently you get closer and closer to that net area, it's going to increase the chances that you just pick up points. And so you want to program that into your mental software that you more consistently drive towards the net. Don't get caught up in thinking, whatever, it's not a big deal. I'll kind of weave out and I'll eventually find the puck will find me. But it's about being able to come out of that, move away from the net, then move towards it. And if you're really struggling and nothing seems to be clicking for you, then go to the place where there's more job opportunities. Go to the place where there's going to be more chances to score. And just keep going there consistently, and it will work. Double down on it when you're not having the point days, and that will make a huge difference. And so that's a great way to think of it. But in general, this is also, this third type of luck is also thinking about what can I do to be able to spot the lucky opportunities. So it's understanding how to read, like, for example, when a player might bobble the puck on the blue line, for example, and know when to jump out of the zone, knowing when to take a risk and maybe like jump for a D-to-D pass and pick it off. If you can spot those opportunities, you're going to suddenly start getting more breakaways, get more opportunities, and you'll be thinking, like, man, like, how do I do this? How does this guy do this? Well, it's because you understand how to spot the opportunities, you take advantage of them, and having this as an anticipation software, that's the key. So if you're thinking about this from a, like, what bucket does this fit into when it comes to like more of the mind ability, you have the hockey IQ ability, you have like the physical like capacity, and then you have like the mechanic side of it. Well, where does it fit into that? Well, really, this is like the IQ side of it, and spotted luck is the IQ and anticipation and pattern recognition, right? So you get good at anticipating patterns that happen. So study like your games if you can get film of your own games, study the patterns of what players tend to do at your level. Don't just study the NHL, but study your level. Notice what patterns tend to happen. If you start to notice that certain patterns are occurring, maybe it's team systems, maybe it's certain players, but if you can find the tendencies and learn to anticipate, jump into places, maybe bait people to do the thing and then jump into the spot, it's going to give you a better and better and better chance of succeeding. So spotted luck is the ability to anticipate and pattern recognize and then make effective decisions based on that. So become that type of person, and then you're going to start stacking more and more lucky opportunities in your favor. Now, the fourth kind of luck is identity luck. And this is luck that seems to kind of be like attracted to you. And so this is the type of person who just keeps getting opportunities over and over and over again. It's the Ovechkin getting one-timers all the time. It's Crosby constantly finding players in very weird, like backdoor positions and finding them in weird spots. It's being able to do things so well that other people pick up on it and they start to like almost get like pulled towards you. It's almost like a magnetism. You see this with guys who just have the higher and higher levels of skill. And of course, this is kind of like a no-brainer, but this should be the clear motivation for you that at the end of the day, you just have to be the type of person who luck starts to just come towards you because of who you are, because of your identity. And if you can become that type of person, then more and more opportunities will come to you and more people will trust you, and coaches will see you that way and they'll label you a certain way. Like teammates will start to find you and try to give you the puck more. And a perfect example of this, of identity luck in the hockey world, this is a thing that so many guys will tell me about that they do or other people do, is that when they play with a higher level player, a guy who's maybe like an NHL draft pick or a higher level guy, they just want to get them to puck all the time. They just say like, man, he's so good, I just want to pass it to him. I just trust that they're going to do something with it. So if you can be the type of person who people trust you to that level, well then that's what you're going to start to get. You're going to start to get more and more opportunities, and people are going to say, man, like it feels like he's just always getting the opportunities. It's always working out for him. He's always getting the higher stats. He's finding ways to score. And this is because you're influencing everyone around you. You're showing them how good you are. And so a technique for this, something that can actually help that I really did, especially in my early years when I first went into college before I had some absolutely crazy scenarios that really derailed the career. But what I learned was that if you can show your skill set and you can start to display you have these other abilities, and this goes for players who you're in a more limited role. So if you're not in a limited role right now and you're expected to be more of a shutdown guy or a defensive guy, whether you're forward or D, start to show kind of flashes of a more expanded and better identity. Start to show you have the skill to be a sniper or a playmaker or maybe a little bit of just like a two-way, but show hints of this ability. If you're a guy who is more of a skill guy and you do have those more like higher value assets, well, start to show some of the other areas. Because then you might get other opportunities. You might get to play a little bit of PK. You might get to play other opportunities that are going to help expand your brand. Start to expand who you are to other people, how scouts label you. And it might give you more chances with better schools, with better teams, might be able to sign bigger contracts because you provide more value. So start to think about how you can expand your identity while knowing your role. This is such a key concept that we talk about so much. Know the role you're expected to play on your team, but start to expand that identity and show hints of it. Show it in practice. If you can show it in games, do it, but be careful that you're not jumping so far out of your role that you may actually have your coach say, oh, well, you're not even doing the thing you're expected to do. But if you can do that consistently, you're going to start to expand the way that people see you. And when you expand the way people see you, you're going to get more and more and more opportunities. So don't hesitate to just step into a more expanded identity and watch how luck starts to come towards you. So the moral of the story here is that you don't want to just rely on like any one type of luck, but generally speaking, you want to be the type of person who you get the identity luck. It's because of who you are. You want to have the character, and the character is who you truly are. It's not just how people see you, but have the character, which then leads to the way people see you and your reputation, and then have that reputation influence the opportunities people give you. When they see you working hard at practice, when people see you doing the extra reps, suddenly people start to associate that as, well, that's who you are, and that becomes your label or your reputation. And then that label or reputation is going to enforce you or reinforce you to do what you're already doing. And it's a really cool concept because I've learned this when I've went to teams and I have kind of been in a weird headspace where maybe I wasn't as motivated, and people kind of saw me as maybe a little more chill, a little more relaxed, more of the fun guy. And when I would say, man, I'm going to go work out, I'm going to go stay on the ice for an extra hour, people might be a little surprised. They're like, ooh, that's a little different. And they kind of almost like punish you a little bit by saying like, oh, that's weird. Like, why are you doing that? Or they're surprised. What I learned is that if you can set the tone early, especially for anybody coming into the season this year, if you can set the tone early that you're the type of guy who does the types of things you want them to see you as throughout the year, think about your essentially at the beginning of the year and your first impressions are training other people to train you to be a certain way. And so if you want people to see you as a shooter, well, come into the year and be shooting all the time and taking shots from everywhere. Take some risks here and there and just rip the puck. And then people will start to associate that as, oh, he's a shooter. And then that will actually reinforce you if you start to forget and lose your identity a little bit, which can happens all the time for people. People are going to start to reinforce that. They're going to be saying like, what are you doing? Like, why are you not shooting the puck? You clearly have worked on that, or you clearly are a shooter. So there's this kind of bouncing back and forth, and it kind of creates almost like a positive echo chamber in a sense that people see who you are, and then they say you are that person. So then you say, oh, okay, I am that person. And then you don't forget. So moral of the story, take these keys with you, really run with it. And if you have any questions, feel free to comment them below. I'll make some future videos, podcasts about that. And feel free to message me on Instagram, identity_shift_hockey. I will talk to you soon. I hope you crush it this week. I hope you enjoyed the car ride. I hope you enjoyed maybe it was a training session. Hope you're shooting pucks or whatever it is you were doing. Hope you enjoyed. I know most guys are doing that. They're usually working out or training or like on the road to some different thing that they're going to, or maybe you're on the road to a game right now. So hope this helped you. I hope that this brought you some value. Hope you enjoyed hanging out, and I will see you in the next one.